not meet scientismic ways, even Sears did not foresee.
Two heavenly bodies never had pressure.
Shot by fluids to 100 degrees. I can count on you, you can count on me.
We're the golden ratio,
Geometric harmony. When our theories are challenged,
when we stare down peer review.
you can count on me, and I can count on you.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Axiom Denatured Protein Slab contains exactly the amount of protein your body can process at a given time. Make Axiom your axiom of choice. From the Order of the Ascendant. An ease-setting witticism to prophetic colleagues at break time. The universal equation should maturate more rapidly and solve its own problems. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics.
I appreciate your help.
Statistics
Dying makes it so difficult to see the results of your theses.
data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really two outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip it? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy. A horror. A horror the archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal, to the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the archive.
As was long since foreordained, that song was requested by the Department of Predictive Analysis and Ossification.
The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Oh,
latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts, and relevant informational details for near-present and future calculations. Fellow esteemed members of the Order of the Ascendant allocated to Golden Ridge, as foreseen, recent conflicts between the Protectorate, Auntie's Choice, and ourselves have resulted in notable detrimental effects throughout this region, including but not limited to the loss of Fort Endurance, disabling of the tramicular, and a 17.9% reduction in effective sleep cycles per evening. But before you succumb to a sense of malaise that undermines cognitive function, take heart from these additional, sharply contrasting data points. Our efforts deciphering the universal equation remain unabated. Extraction continues at Zeranium Manufactory 7, as does research at the N-Ray Range. Remember, just as our calculations allow for a predictable range of error, so do we. Our work continues.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Continuing as predetermined. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
May the plan guide you.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's Choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references to placing blame. Nothing conclusive, yet enough to give me pause.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I suppose the data wipe was meant to cover their trail. The physical records would have been altered, dear. Presumably by some difficult-to-discern chemical means. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientist knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
No need to squander cogitation on a lengthy preamble for this installment of Ask a Vicar, especially with today's proverbial doozy of a query. A listener asks, I ain't got time to suss
I
out-
expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
Consumeristic society, what they might call a lung leech. To this listener, I say, welcome. We vicars are always gladsome to educate the ignorant and to maximize comprehension of our new corporate friend. I shall present my answers using as
Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores.
It's one of Auntie's choices, more digestible.
All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
In the order, see the underlying structure, the math beneath the mess. Every artificially flavored berry on my desk did not settle in its place by happenstance. It was positioned by atomical electrodynamics, by momentum, by the mass attraction of neighboring berries, the desk surface beneath them, the planetary object beneath the desk. The berries' bounce followed a predetermined order, no different from the spill of stellar material known as the Milky Way in the night void. We call this order the Grand Plan. Do we know every step of it? No. But we know it is knowable. Just a matter of calculating the motion of every particle in the universe. That calculation is a universal equation. Once we solve it, and it's only a matter of time, we will know all that ever was or will ever be. Not only will we predict reality, but control it. We will ascend to godhood.
Stay tuned for what follows. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
May all your theories prove true.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
That Svoboda would have made a good arbiter. Oh, just a little jest. No, she struck me an over-officious buffoon.
These numbers that we henceforth call irrational. Can you give me an example that is true? Of course, when you swear the root of
be no... Surely you need to assault
Finally, a favorable happenstance. After I became stuck in here, those organisms appeared, all hungry-eyed and slavering profusely. The door jammed. Not sure how. Worked perfectly acceptably earlier. Lockdown and my clumsy fumbling triggered a precautionary security setting. I can't reset it from here, and I'm not particularly enamored of being closed in. Depends on your level of moxie and know-how, I suspect. Let me think. You could try jimmying the door open if you have engineering expertise. Or, I don't know, engage in a routine advanced physical regime. Otherwise, the safety reset is in a wall panel around the corner, though that seems a bit boring for a dynamic sort like you. That much I certainly can do.
I shall not stay your execution. Come now, please. You're hurt, Commander. Steel yourself. Have you no manners?
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors?
Here to impart a message of significant value, conveyed to me by Alexandria Monastery's most trusted conjecture.
Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely.
Those perilous fluctuations, the Order invites you to seek stability and shelter in Matriarch's mercy. While lean accommodations do persist, the effort to improve conditions is being spearheaded by Administrator Agarwal, who I have been relying on.
Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day.
Alexandria Monastery signing off. How was that, Wiley?
I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside.
Consistency in your work is wonderful.
Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
against judgment.
When a triangle exists with an angle that is right, square their shorter sides, shorter based on height. The sum of those squares will always be of use as the square of the longest side, the hypotenuse. A proof, a very proven proof. You think you know it all, the answer's in your heart. Unless you show the proof, your theory will be picked apart. Your theory will be picked apart. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. Prove it, yes you must prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, just deduce it. If you can
Investigator.
Always account for standard deviation.
It is difficult for me to tell how strange Alva's situation is relative to anything else within the Order. It all seems equally inexplicable.
Activity and a statistically significant number of scienticians agree vinculum flavor drops are qualitatively advantageous. Help your food taste better with vinculum.
Yes. Suppose you'll do.
Humorous hot beverage mug text recently observed, scienticians seek safety in numbers and enlightenment. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by. us listening to next week's #1 hit. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
proceed toward intended results.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute. If all matter has mass, and thus exerts attraction, could I bear love's weight and measure, or be crushed beneath abstraction? Can I calculate truth or assumption?
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here?
Love does not compute. It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute.
I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near-present and future calculations.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufacturing button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name's not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
Efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxiferous to organic material. But in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Not fully safe, of course. You wouldn't uranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in Earth's uranium.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you have solutions." That apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Perhaps you shouldn't. My earlier endeavors were often disconcerting. But the truth remains. Whatever is happening here, I'm not involved. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda.
Get to the point and do not vacillate.
It's sweet that you think you can stop me, but I'll elucidate this for you. At this point, you'll either need to trust me or back that worm Svoboda. That ridiculous little functionary upended my existence. For 20 years, I was Alva. It wasn't a good life I had here, but it was quiet. It was mine. It wasn't hers to take.
This would mean standing against a member of the Order. A mid-ranking one, at that.
The only thing that's left is publicized.
I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here.
Get to the point and do not vacillate.
Not that I was relishing the idea, but you provided other options. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Elucidate and demonstrate. Get to the point and do not vacillate.
I don't know what you found, but any so-called evidence was likely laid there for someone to discover. By a party with years spent in hiding. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business.
Missed my calling as an analytical statistician. How might I I switch careers?
I receive such queries regularly. Based on a method known as merged spline interpolation, one solution would be to engage in both...
Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Search away, Commander. I shall keep an eye on the weapon hand of our new compatriot.
Second query, should I have another offspring? I already have 2 of them.
Your answer requires more elaborate mathematics than I can perform at the moment, but here's a general calculation based on the desired population rate of 2.3 offspring per couple. Calculate the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your left, and add to it the sum of the children in the first 5 couples that live to your right. If this total sum is less than 23, you should have another child. If the sum is greater than 23, you should not have another child. If the sum is exactly 23, you should move to a new neighborhood and repeat the experiment. Next query.
Final question for the vicar. Do these pantaloons make my posterior look overly substantial?
No, those pantaloons do not appear as a term in the antecedent of that statement. Instead, other terms are leading to the validity of that assertion. Thank you for listening.
Keep put. Much is left to come.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look.
Function f to the n equaling our starting z. Function fn minus 1 plus the fn minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci. A sequence largely summing to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber of Aasi.
Brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors.
Quite so vital, marking is a circle. Giving squares, perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again. 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber of Aasi. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the 2 preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 24.
The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say?
Vegetable expulsions.
You enjoyed our casts. Now try our expulsions.
Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
In times of peril, remind yourself.
Very well. I shall return to my quarters. Perhaps I'll use this time to catch up on my reading.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
A song from a composer predicted to melodies and become allergic to water this year.
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Swear I can't lie low for 20 years without everything in the order falling apart. Well, suppose we better head to the monastery now, yes?
And now, constructually compelling yet categorically veracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus. Confirm your hypotheses with Lemma Protein Snacks.
Whether you are in between theorems or in between meals, Lemma has you covered.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Never forget, we will unlock humanity's true potential. In due course, in due time, each fulfilling our prescribed role within the grand plan. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
These
spread, illnesses, and eventual control of the purple-berry parasite. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 begins here. Hello. For the record, my name is Marie de Rothschild, Junior Archivist, Class 4 of the Archive. Today, I would like to talk about irresponsible spread of the purple-berry parasite by Auntie's Choice and its numerous subsidiaries and former supernumerary, although that's a different lecture. The spread of this parasite included a corresponding rise in gastrointestinal illnesses and deaths until basic preventative measures were put in place after illness-related costs exceeded corporate profits. As is usual for Auntie's Choice. The purple-berry parasite infects nearly 100% of all purple-berry bushes, both in the wild, on corporate farms, and even in our hydroponic collectives. Originally discovered on a single colony world, the purple-berry plant was subsequently spread throughout the colonies due to Auntie's Choice's poorly regulated interstellar shipping.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here.
Somehow merged with another company to become Auntie's Choice. Honestly, these corporate interactions make little sense to me, as they mostly amount to relabeling assets and changing letterhead and mascot cartoons. So I will just refer to them as Auntie's Choice going forward.
Well, regardless, I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
It was at first thought to be poisonous, as the early colonists eating its berries died from the most potent of discharges this documentarian has ever witnessed, in a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording in our archive, which we acquired from a corporate defector to the Protectorate before our stellar system was sealed and the Order ceased daily interactions with our Protectorate allies. But again, I digress. Belated testing by Auntie's Choice's unlettered scientists showed that the berries were not poisonous at all. Instead, they were infected with a microscopic parasite, the purple-berry parasite, or PBP, as it is colloquially called in Auntie's Choice's records. More specifically, the PBP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally injected by the second stage of the parasite. I am getting ahead of myself. Let's examine.
The Order and their presiding bishop seem trustworthy enough. Have you seen their wireless advertising? Nothing's ever new or 110% improved. So honest, it's boring.
The PBP life cycle in detail. After an infected berry is eaten by a host, the microscopic eggs inside the berries are exposed to the host's digestive enzymes, which trigger their hatching. These parasites enter their second stage as spiky, worm-like creatures with outsized, pincer-like mandibles, which
Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned of Reese to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. I'm glad we were able to show him a little grace. DeVries obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? No, yeah, of course. Stupid question. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. Yeah, but the shrapnel of her plot got me anyway. DeVries always was good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. Trying anyway. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed.
Not entirely surprised I had to abandon my cover identity earlier. Knew there was a risk if I took action. But when the attack on the outpost opportunity occurred, I had no choice. I do so hope you'll forgive my thoroughly convincing deception, dear. Not really, no. Innocent and unobtrusive never truly came natural to me. I'm not hearing a question. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. Information free of context can be off-putting, confusing, dangerous even, if misjudged. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusions. Identity insurance.
One never relishes saying we did predict the catastrophe could occur.
Grand Architect! First an attack on the monastery and now the lift code's not working? Am I misremembering it? Yeah. No. Unless... Why this, I'm sure. Agent! Oh, thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer, Seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. No, I've known Landon for years. You must be mistaken. If what you say is true, that is damning evidence indeed. But why would he do it? Align himself against the Order? Against a friend? That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? I can't discuss this right now. The monastery. The truth is, I held Wiley back. I kept him from advancing for my own selfish gains by spreading lies and false concern over his competence behind his back. But I needed him. I still need him. I'm not the savant he is, never have been. If he'd advanced beyond his current role, my deficiencies would have been made manifest to all. I'm sorry, but we really haven't the time to litigate this issue further. In case I didn't make it clear before, the monastery is currently in jeopardy. Peace talks? Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. Representatives of Auntie's Choice in the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. I have full confidence in your skills. You are an Earth Directorate agent, after all. For myself, I regret to say I'm a peacetime abbot. I was never meant to navigate a war. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
I assure you these traitors haven't factored us into their equation. Ready to be the hole in their math?
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked.
We'd love to help, but not as much as we prefer to leave. Plan guide you.
Agent, what do you need? May all our travails add to the equation.
Reckon the Order teaches this flair for the Dramatic to all their seers? Or is he a special case?
Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order add some are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan. In your minds, let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution.
here while you to leave us this. Sorry.
Got some bad company.
Within a fraction of a second.
No. But I have been told my pain tolerance exceeds normal thresholds.
Mother must be so proud.
Heat on this, Commander. Gotta distract some negative.
Recharge.
I'm the one you need to worry about.
Go for torpification. Capacity. Proceeding to attack.
Grand Architect's perspiring brow. If you try to cite the fourth pillar to me one more time, scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist. I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 Thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites. Be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic. Oh dear. Perhaps I should have explained what an anchorite is.
As your friend has correctly determined, we are anchorites, here by choice. This is where we conduct our divine calling, debating scientific precept and theory. Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing.
She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Oh yeah? And how'd she react?
Well, she hasn't returned, so perhaps she didn't like the answer we gave. Happens more often than you'd think.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Those junctions. Junction boxes look familiar. The N-ray scanner should show how they're wired.
Found another one. Damn it. I knew there'd be a high probability of fighting, but...
Ratcheting up.
Get the water and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Join us. It's not often they chose me.
the scholarship we asked for. You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer. But do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. Much appreciated.
We'll be
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I've enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, as bad as it was, that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
austere. Can hardly guess who lives here. Did the abbot take a vow of resplendency?
Failed this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she would make peace with the primitive minds of Auntie's choice. This must be prevented, whatever the cost, or humanity's ascendance will be forestalled by centuries, if not millennia. The blood spilled today is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And who do
portion of the purple berries, so these methods were deemed non-cost-effective and rejected out of hand. Eventually,
The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene.
nematodes or salmon.
If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however,
contained the solution
and they will
to
die,
eradicating these parasites.
screaming in abject terror.
The simple and obvious.
But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
A quick test showed the same.
All right, what's the call, Commander?
BP eggs, although without quite 100% effectiveness. The remaining parasite eggs were not removed, a method that was judged too wasteful and expensive, since they increased the protein.
Seer was right about one thing. We wouldn't be very good Earth Directorate agents if we just left them to die.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
Small to be seen or felt by the unaided eyes and tongues of their consumers. So Auntie's Choice administrators were
Let me guess. That safe won't open until we solve this puzzle.
Purple berries are now
Seems like stacking the deck for predictable behavior analysis.
Mindless Auntie's Choice consumers especially purchase a large variety of purpleberry-themed foods and beverages, all of them mislabeled parasite-free. More accurately, the label should read live parasite-free. But in any case, Auntie's Choice once again demonstrated their contempt for their customers, for
I've heard the
nature,
Order enjoys a good
and
brain
the
teaser.
pretense
This
of
seems
safety.
excessive.
Another reason this documentarian is grateful for our Order's fabricated nutritional foodstuffs. OA Archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
Enemy about. Receiving lots of stuff.
Try to lift.
Until we achieve ascension. An unfortunate event has transpired. Explosion at Elb's Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy. has
Grenade outbound!
Conversations with those inside the monastery have curiously halted.
Mobilizing.
Presently exists. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion.
Hostilities are afoot.
99.8% lamentably, due to a prudent ministerial decision by Dr. Garwal, the displaced had been approved to move into these areas. Many were housed.
Taking
So
cover.
ends this missive.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Consistency in your work. Consistency in play. Now for a new song. Starling products researched and designed to
Oh, okay. A bit slow moving, but it's something.
A statistically significant number of scientists agree. Vinculum flavor drops are qualitatively advantageous. Help your food taste better together with Vinculum from the Order of the Ascendant. Never forget, we will unlock humanity's true potential in due course, in due time, each fulfilling a prescribed role within the grand plan. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
This laborious exercise is obviously intended to consume precious time.
That was the right call, but we've no time left to waste.
Of this fatal attraction. This fatal attraction. This fatal attraction.
This would be the script. The scriptorium Anchorus, Brun, and Chow mentioned earlier. Should we fetch them their texts? Facilitate their malfunctional behavior further?
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Axiom Denatured Protein Slab contains exactly the amount of protein your body can process at a given time. Make Axiom your axiom of choice. From the Order of the Ascendant. Humorous hot beverage mug text recently observed, scienticians seek safety in numbers and enlightenment. This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odescard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must. It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference. No such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Odescard, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in the grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. Every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
That was dedicated to all the innovative minds in the Department of Applied Scientism from their admiring cohort in the Department of Research and Inquiry.
The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 43. Please continue to enjoy the background music, which I have selected today based on its arithmetic-based harmonic progressions. My name is Edmund Vandersmith, and I am the Senior Tenured Laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Mnemonistics for the Order of the Ascendant. Today's lecture will focus on the generation of prime numbers, techniques, and uses thereof. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic...
The scholarship we asked for. Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice, but that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
Analyzing.
Investigating hostile intelligence.
You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a frame.
before it discharges. Vitals are in the... Standing by to stupefy.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
I'll handle this.
Let me know when you need it.
Energy capacitor.
Continue. Moving to a more fortified position. Exposure levels up.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. Proceeding to
You are immaterial to advancing the
We should keep moving, Commander. All right, but we best do this quick.
doesn't appreciate a good orrery. Worthless people, that's who.
cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused.
Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station's security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. DeVries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint? No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. The fool I was to believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
Yeah.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything. I'm much obliged for your... However, though the codes will... Yet we must...
We should return to the incognito. Get on over to the location of those peace talks. God will beat DeVries there, but we ought to try.
Leave me be. I've no more predictions to offer now.
Agent, over here. I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon. That is, Seer Wiley. I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? I'm saddened he felt that way. I also can't argue he's wrong. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Myself especially. Education takes time, and that is the one thing the Order does not seem to have in abundance these days. Still, I take your meaning. We must do better. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery, regrettable as the business was. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
Predicted this would be his fate? Roger always said he wanted it to be donated to the Order if it helped him. And I'm sure this was section. Hey, Bobby! Can any of this really be in service to the universal equation like the Seers claim?
archive on the list. One day.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Either they have squatters or they're deck. Their decorators should be shot. Or both.
You've never bested me with that subterfuge! Go in here, and I'll show you how a true acolyte fights!
Scoping out a hostile. Try to limit further damage. Standing. I'll handle it. Consider self-preservation a priority. Free energy if you can reach it. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
That's certainly painted.
Hey, you! Let me out of here! Let me out!
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
Ridiculous. The rift's existence is an anomaly, nothing more. Their existence begs for correction.
I see no need to respond to such heresy. You are obviously ill-informed. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. I could use your help there, and I'm sure my particular talents could be of service to you. If you'd deign to take me on, of course. I see. Well, that is disappointing. I wanted to look into their eyes as they died. I'm, admittedly at a loss here. It seems to me I remain in your debt. You could still take me on. I'm all geared up with nowhere to direct my violent retribution. Nothing that will live to regret. But it seems like you've already a full contingent with you. Just don't keep me waiting too long. I want to see your handiwork at the N-Ray range firsthand. No offense, just need to confirm you turned all the traitors into corpses.
I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see the
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Worry about.
Taking the fight out of them. Torpification. Commander, throwing energy your way.
impressive killing, Commander. Wish I'd been here to partake. I'm not seeing their hierarch Ziegler out here. I'll go take a quick look inside and verify you got him. They're all dead, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch Ziegler isn't with them. I did find one of our communication devices, though. Seems like he took a small group of acolytes with him to study a rift on Paradise Island. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. Hey, Commander, I think Val wants us to discuss strategy. Or I could just be misunderstanding the noises I'm making from her.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
Should we consider going in with a plan this time? Or is it going to be another improvised free-for-all?
Bullet could solve a lot of problems, provided we can reach DeVries before she enacts her plan to kill the delegates.
I'd say she won't know what hit her, but she will likely see my hammer before I drive it down on her forehead.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
It's a comm station built by the Order in the early days of the colony. As Val said, auto-mechanical security measures are a given, and DeVries will surely level them against us. I'd also expect some level of hazardous disrepair, though the unpredictable nature of DeVries and her defectors concerns me more than anything.
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of her own phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out, too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
I'm Pierce Huntley, VP.
Got troublemaker.
Let's weapon drop.
Statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy efficiency.
The betrayer is a puppet! He must be vanquished!
Time enough for figuring out why these swine betrayed me.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Error of their ways. Violently.
From the Order of the Ascendant. In times of peril, remind yourself, contentment is found by accepting your role in the grand plan. Understanding your place, knowing your course, removes all worry and doubt. And now, a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamental. Statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there a specific outcome you can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect prediction. 100% accurate. Known outcome. Either restore my life or now we come to one of the most difficult causing the order to misread. Mentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance? Of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. Is there really 2 outcomes? Specific outcomes determined. With complete information, there can be no chance.
Nobody around.
Only outcomes.
Got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
100% accuracy. No.
I can't believe this. According to that datapad, there was an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty.
If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete.
Of course not. What a ridiculous question.
To chance. At present, we do not have.
You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing.
Outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty. Tragedy. A horror.
If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique, unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised.
To the solving of the universal equation, probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess.
I have no idea. If I go anywhere near one of our encampments, I'll be forced to kill members who believe they're following orders. Of course, any member of the Dawn who turns on me without thinking is asking for death, but this could still make solving this even more difficult. Don't worry. I'll stay on as part of your crew until I get this all figured. It's given me an impressive amount of opportunities for killing, and all the killing helps me think.
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Achieve ascension. An unfortunate event has transpired. A massive explosion at Alexandra Monastery in Matriarch's Mercy has sent rocky debris raining down upon inhabited areas below. Yet, on a favorable note, this event has positively validated Seer Wiley's exclusion zone predictions. The aforesaid debris landed in the forewarned areas of the 89.3% accuracy, lamentably due to an imprudent ministerial decision by Administrator Garwal. The displaced had been approved to move into these areas. Many were housed there at the time.
So ends this message.
And now, additional data and/or music. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. Sure, but don't get me wrong. I ain't asking this of you for my own benefit. We got a duty to protect everyone at the peace talks. You as an Earth Directorate agent, me as a soldier. It's what we do. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? Oh, I see. You're here to gossip. All right, let's hear it. Who do you want to talk about? Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. Regardless, I can assure you I'll treat him with the same respect I show you. Though I reckon he's seen his fair share of struggles over the years, no matter how he tries to hide it. Think he ought to ask for help when he needs it. Not only is he a couple smokes short of a pack, he's also insufferable. I try, Commander, but boy, he makes it difficult. Who knows? Could be that he could change for the better if he breaks free of that protectorate nonsense he's intoxicated with. But I won't hold my breath. Oh, I got a lot of choice words that would have even Val covering her audio receptors, so I'll spare you most of them. I just hope we don't regret letting Azza on board. She ain't right in the head. She's damn near bloodthirsty. I'll keep my distance when I can, but I promise you, if I perceive even a hint of threat from her, I will deal with it. Ain't often you see an elder solving an equation with one hand and stabbing someone in the eye with the other. So the real question is, does she get along with me? I sure hope so. I'm keen to learn about her, though I reckon she's more of an abacus than an open book. Set in her ways, methodical. And law help you if you jostle her.
Careful now. You sure haven't lost any of your boundless energy. This energy.
song was odd because it is the number 3 song this week. Next up, well, the seers among you already know.
Observational data is important. I hate seeing these rifts so close. seems out of place here. Worth a once-over.
Good evening. On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I am certain we can both profit from a merger. But surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President, I and my fellow counselors remind you that this is no merger, but an alliance. By ending the war, we may focus on the true threat to our society, the rifts.
Be still, Cadre. But don't let this interloper out of your sight. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. Preposterous. Our mission to stop the talks is a righteous one. Why would I ever jeopardize it for the likes of you?
This one's a potential font of useful information, dear. You just need to administer the proper application of force.
You'll do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. Don't toy with me, fiend! I'll not have it, but it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. True, if we want to preserve the Order, we shouldn't kill our own. But I fear that eventually the rot of beguilement will eat us from within. Indeed, you may be right. A single weed is easier to stamp out than a meadow full of them. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station. All while Agent DeVries makes for the forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
No time to waste. Let's have a look at those plans. We need to find us a fuse to get this old thing operational.
He's not my sovereign.
Yes, right. Well, landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping redworm.
I am unfamiliar, but you will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Arcadia than uncomfortable. The sovereign is as ineffective as you suggested, but his advisor, the consul, is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks, are solely his influence.
Solely? Your previous sovereign was rather draconian himself, if your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current rot emerged from nowhere.
I could perhaps say the same for you and your reputation for putting profits over people. But instead, I suggest you turn our discussion back to the real matter at hand.
DeVries' team must have got to these next phase.
Not walking this off. Stand me back up.